Well, it's finally happened. The giant container ship blocking the Suez Canal was pulled free from the bank where it was stuck almost a week after it first became stranded. Horns sounded in celebration as the Ever Given made her way up the canal after an operation involving 30,000 cubic meters of sand that was moved. Now that the critical waterway is clear, the massive backup of ships will start navigating once again through the canal. Bloomberg trade czar Brendan Murray joins me now with more. Brendan, thanks so much for being here. Give us the latest updates from the Suez Canal. When is traffic going to get back to normal there?
Well, from what we understand, it's just a matter of the next 12 hours or so before they start uh, allowing ships to transit the waterway. That is, that's going to be a slow process by, standards that we would normally consider to be quick. If a crash on the highway backs up cars for miles, that's cleared away, and it can be, it can be just an hour or two before traffic gets back to normal. But ships, and especially 500 of them on either side of the canal, are going to take days. I've seen estimates ranging from 4 days to a couple of weeks before the backlog is cleared. So, and that's just to kind of restore normal traffic. So, I think it's it may be the end of the Ever Given's 10 minutes of fame, but most people who look at supply chain see this causing some problems for the foreseeable several weeks, if not a month or two.
What should we think about in terms of products or things that will take longer to get to us or get to others?
Well, it's just going to be sort of sporadic. It's not going to be like the pandemic when it started a year ago, when everybody rushed to the store and grabbed all the household goods, that they could. It's going to be, there's going to be a delay. First of all, these ships aren't going to get to the ones that have been backed up in this traffic aren't going to get to where they're going for another week or two. So, it could be it could be a random consumer product, or it could be auto parts. It could be industrial chemicals, that go into products that won't be produced for another 3 months or so. So it's not a real clean fix here. And there's no some of the ports we talked to today, they know that there are 50 ships coming from this region, but they don't know when they're going to arrive. They don't know if they're going to all show up at once. They don't know. There's just a lot of unknowns that this has created, and it's impossible to say when the shortages might occur, but there will surely be some of those. It's just we just don't know when.
So, Brandon, you said that the Ever Given's 10 minutes or 5 or 6 days of fame may be over at this point, but I'm wondering what the legacy of that ship being stuck in the canal is. What does it mean to changes that might have to be made when it comes to these huge ships getting through the Suez?
Well, I think the Suez Canal authorities will certainly, step up their safety precautions, and in dealing with these, they obviously, had quite a spectacle on their hands, and they don't want another one of those. As we've seen, this was cleared up in 6 days, but there was the prospect here that this thing could have caused a real problem and delayed things for a month. So you could see, more safety precautions, but I think longer term, companies are gonna, it's just another layer of risk that you have to factor in if you're sourcing products from other parts of the world. The pandemic has introduced a lot of those risks, but this is just another one, and not a whole lot of people could have foreseen this coming, and it came at a fairly bad time.
Yeah, I'm wondering what it means for these huge ships that are getting through. One thing that we have learned in the last week, I think a lot of people join me in learning this, is that these ships have actually grown significantly in size over the last decade or so, nearly doubling. Has the canal moved in tandem with that? Has it expanded with our own expansion of how we're feeling about trade?
Well, I think that no, the ships have definitely outgrown the infrastructure around global trade to deal with them. There are lots of ports in the U.S. that can't even handle a ship the size of the Ever Given. The infrastructure behind global trade has lagged the advances in ship capacity, and we obviously saw the fallout of that happen over the past week or so. I don't think they're going to stop making big ships. Big ships allow us to buy things very cheaply, and until consumers are willing to say, okay, well, I'll pay double for my tennis shoes. I'm not sure the demand for cheap ocean freight is really going to reverse all that much. Now there's a debate about globalization, and that's gonna carry out, and supply chains will become more regional. But overall, those ships keep the price of everyday goods down, and are consumers willing to to pay up? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm not so sure either. Bloomberg's Brendan Murray in London. Brendan, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you joining us on Quick Take this afternoon.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.